So this is question number 8, and these are the first two parts. So 8 just wants us to perform the indicated operations and then to write our answer in standard form. So we're going to be subtracting 4 plus 3i from 4 minus 3i. So what we can do is just drop the parentheses and distribute the negatives. You get 4 minus 3i minus 4 minus 3i, and we combine like terms. We have 4 and negative 4, and we have negative 3i minus 3i gives us negative 6i. So to write in standard form, you can just put the 0 in front of that. And for b, here we're wanting to square this term. So we can think of this as I to the 23rd minus 1 times I to the 23rd minus 1. And now I just distribute and FOIL like we normally would, and we get I to the 23rd times I to the 23rd. We add our exponent, so that becomes I to the 46th minus I to the 23rd, minus I to the 23rd, and then negative 1 times negative is plus 1. So I to the 46, we need to simplify this because, well, currently we have I to the 46 minus 2I to the 23rd plus 1. And so what we can do is we can take 46 and we can divide it by 4. And that gives me 1, 4 goes in. We really don't care what it goes into. 4 goes into 6 one time with a remainder of 2. So we really are only concerned with the remainder. So this actually simplifies to be I squared minus, and then 23rd, we'll have I remainder 3, so it's 2I to the 3rd plus 1. And we can even simplify this even more because we know I squared is negative 1. I to the 3rd is the same thing as negative I. And so our 1's cancel, and we've got negative 2 times negative I, which is just 2I. And that's your answer for part B. Now we have part C. Part C gives us 1 plus I over I cubed. And that, what we will do is, we want I always in terms of 4, because that's just 1, right? So I've got I to the 3rd on the bottom, so what I'm going to do is multiply the top and bottom by an I to get this to be I to the 4th on the bottom. So that gives me I plus I squared over I to the 4th. And now we just simplify, which we know, and so we get I plus I squared, we know is negative 1 over I to the 4th is 1. So this gives me negative 1 plus I. And that is your answer. And then we have D, which is 3 minus I over I minus 2I. And so what we're going to do here is multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate of the bottom, the complex conjugate of the bottom. So that's going to be 1 plus 2I over 1 plus 2I. And on the top, we're going to FOIL that. And then on the bottom, we FOIL it again, but remember that's just going to be the first term squared, which is 1, minus our second term squared, so 2I quantity squared. So when I FOIL this, I get 3 plus 6I minus 2I squared all over 1 minus 2, and I squared is a negative, so times negative 1, just change the signs, so over 3. Here we get 3 plus 6I minus 1 is 5I, and then remember we're going to add that together. Oh, sorry, and this 2, whoops, my fault, that 2, if we're squaring that term, that becomes 2 squared, which is 4. So, and we have 3 now plus 2, so that gives us 5 plus 5I over 5. And so then we can simplify that, and it would just be 1 plus I is your answer. And that is question number 8.